Hey, what's up, guys? Mad Dog 2001. I haven't done one of these in a while, or a thing. I'm just here for my subscribers. All 48 of you, probably I think maybe 46, because there's like 2 dead accounts, but I'm keeping them on there to make my channel look like there's actually people that kind of care about me. Whatever. Some updates. I'm kind of doing a whole lot of things with this channel now. I've done a couple Alone in the Dark reviews. If people haven't seen that, go check that out. It's in my channel. ODW, which is my outdoor wrestling promotion, which is starting off pretty rough since we're getting a lot of no-shows. So there you go. Updates on those. The Alone in the Dark third part of the review. It looks like I'm getting somewhat of a good response with it. Expect a third one up soon. I can't give you an exact date because I actually have to replay because I screwed up and I got to replay it up to that point and then record. Also, for ODW, part 3 of their match, or part 2 of the match that's not uploaded, is 13 minutes and like 24 seconds. Because my camera that I have does not upload into Movie Maker, I cannot edit this. So I have a few friends that have movie editing software. Going to be working on that, and we'll get that up as soon as possible. Also, let's continue on. This video mostly is about a JBL kind of rant. Those that don't know my channel, I'm a JBL fan, and there's reasons for it. I think as Spinnernet said, and I've said it many times, he's one of the greatest. I think he is the best heel in the company right now, as far, maybe not wrestling ability, but to work a crowd on the mic, his interviews, everything. There's no dull moment with him. I can remember back at ECW 2006 One Night Stand, he cut that promo with the fans and basically buried the entire ECW fan base, and it was pretty awesome. To be honest with you guys. So this is my problem so far. Lately, to me, JBL has turned into this. Because if you guys can remember, on SmackDown, he was probably their biggest star, their biggest heel on SmackDown. That was all fine and dandy. Once when he lost that title match against John Cena at WrestleMania 21, things just went a little bit downhill from there. He had his rematch at Judgment Day, put on a great match, but came up short. Then he should have won the new WWE Championship when he won that Battle Royal, when he eliminated Kurt Angle, I believe, and won the Battle Royal. But then Teddy Long once again screwed him, and basically Batista moved over to SmackDown. And so instead of giving the title that was promised him, this is storyline wise, I'm saying, he had to go against Batista, had a series of matches with him, and came up short in all of them, including Batista. I think I don't like using the term buried, but I would say destroyed his credibility when they had the Texas, I think it was a Texas Bull Rope match at Great American Bash. I think it was. Correct me if I'm wrong. But basically that was supposed to be his pay-per-view, and I know they were trying to build Batista up to be a big star, but then he shouldn't have been facing JBL, in my mind, because you ruined his credibility. It's like taking a guy from Raw who on the A show, moving him to SmackDown, all of a sudden he's the #1 guy on SmackDown, when you have other stars on SmackDown at the time. Then JBL wins the United States Championship, which at the time was actually a meaningful title, but it didn't mean anything. It was like he's going to step backwards, loses the title, I think, to Bobby Lashley, loses a match to Rey Mysterio, and then retires, and then becomes a really good announcer. Then he gets back in the ring just recently in 2007 against Chris Jericho. Had a good feud with Jericho. However, he came up short in that feud. He got beat cleanly on Raw, a random Raw match, which should have been a pay-per-view match, in my opinion. He gets buried there. And then, sorry, I used buried. I mean beat. So then, he feuds with, I think it was John Cena later. Well, Finlay. He does get the WrestleMania victory over Finley, which was nice, but it didn't mean anything because the feud really was dead at the time. Then he feuds with John Cena again. And they could have built this feud. They really, in my opinion, ruined this feud. This feud could have been better. Some people liked it. I didn't. I didn't like the fact. This is how, in my opinion, they should have built this feud. JBL should have been so angry with Cena, not because he got beat at Backlash. He should have been angry. He should have said, this goes way before Backlash. When you beat me and took me off of my crown at WrestleMania 21, and you should call it a fluke victory, because that's what it was. If anyone watched the match, JBL dominated the match. John Cena gets one offensive move, and it's over. What the fuck? It was a fucking shit match. Basically, that's how they should have built that. And JBL should have went over in one of the two matches. I know you're trying to build Cena up, and you don't want to ruin any of his credibility. But quite frankly, they've done this before when big stars lose and then win the title the next pay-per-view. Can you guys remember back in 2001, I believe? You had the Royal Rumble match. Stone Cold Steve Austin wins the Royal Rumble. Has a match, so he's #1 contender. Has a match against Triple H at No Way Out. Triple H beats him in 2 out of 3 pinfalls. But then Stone Cold wins the title the very next month at WrestleMania. People forgot about No Way Out anyways. See, JBL should have won one of the matches to gain some kind of credibility. I mean, just recently he lost to CM Punk, a guy he just beat not too long ago. I don't understand this. I know most of the smart fans don't like JBL, but be quite honest, he makes storylines interesting. He may not be the best in the ring, and no one says he was good in the ring. I'm not saying he is. I don't think he's as bad as you people say, and sure, maybe he's not in the greatest shape as he once was, but he is a little bit up there in age, and he's still doing this. He's still a good heel, and probably when it's all said and done, he's going to be one of the greatest heels in the company, even though he's only been a heel for like 4 years. And quite frankly, wrestling for 4 total out of the 5 years he's been with the company as JBL, not Bradshaw. It's just too bad they didn't turn Bradshaw into JBL earlier in his career, where he probably could have gained some more credibility. This one's not listed up there. Another thing I do not like about this, a lot of people love this, CM Punk winning the World Heavyweight Championship. I am angry at how they did this. Sure, Edge deserved what he got, but quite frankly, Edge just got done with one of the greatest feuds of this year against The Undertaker. And then he just loses the title to some guy that he just beat recently, CM Punk. And to be quite honest, he should have been... I thought maybe CM Punk, they should have waited to use that briefcase. Sure, I know they want to get some ratings in and that kind of stuff, but I don't think CM Punk is quite ready to carry the World Heavyweight Championship on the A show. That's just my opinion. He's a great wrestler, and I know his ROH stuff is good too, but as far as being the #1 guy on Raw now, where everyone's gunning for him, I mean, quite frankly, as much as I hate to admit it, John Cena should have beat Triple H at this past pay-per-view Night of Champions. And then CM Punk should have cashed in the Money in the Bank, I think probably around when people would forget about he even had it, kind of thing. Kind of like how Edge did it at New Year's Revolution. People completely forgot he even had Money in the Bank because he was gone for like a month. And that was the perfect way to do it. I think maybe CM Punk could have done it right around WrestleMania when they didn't have a main event, when the Royal Rumble winner, and they didn't have a main event for Raw or SmackDown, whoever wins the Rumble, or he wins the Rumble or something like that, guarantees his title shot, or, they could have done something with this. It's nice to see CM Punk champion, it's nice to see a new guy on top, but Edge was not the one to go. He's a young, well, he's not really young, but he's a young compared to the other guys. Young champion that deserves to be treated a little bit better, in my opinion. Now, I think he's just going to get buried by Triple H now. It's Mad Dog 2001. You guys have a good one.